So what percentage of your referral partners actually ask for money?
There happens to be one referral partner. That guy has all my money. You know, it's not as high as you would think. It's about 30% that want money. The other 70%, I give them stuff they would have never thought of. You know, I don't give them money. That I give them, you know, tickets to the Mavericks game or tickets to Super Bowl or on a trip, depending on what it is. In fact, I'll share with you right now, because you asked specifically my referral partners. This is exactly what happened with me, and this was 14 years after I discovered this process. I went to the vice president of a corporation. It was a bank, and he was a client of mine. And I went to him and I said, you know, I was wondering if I could have your help. And he goes, and he was kind of a tough guy. And he goes, maybe I will, maybe I won't. And I said, well, okay, let me share with you what I'd like to do. Is I'm asking you for your help. My goal is that I would like to have 3 large Fortune 100 companies as clients for me this year. And I was wondering if you could help me do that. I said, maybe. I said, okay. Well, will your process, and I'm taking you through the whole process right now, and this is how quick this goes, okay? So I said, well, you're happy with my services, correct? He says, yes. I'd like very much. We invested $100,000 with you, got $1.2 million back within 3 months. And that's on my website and quote and letter and everything else and what really happened. And I said, okay, well, in that case, would your prospect, whoever you give me, one of these Fortune 100 companies, will they benefit? And he goes, absolutely. The prospect will benefit. The prospect will benefit. And I said, well, why will you benefit? Doesn't say a word. And that's kind of how he was. Pretty cool guy, you know. Just like he was a Marine, and had some bad, I think, things happened to him. A great guy for me in the business, and so he went like that, and he was just interested in money. And I said, hey, you know what else it'll do though? It will build your relationship within the banking industry, and that if you give me a couple, or whoever, your vendors are great ones. If you go and your referral partner is your client, and they're fairly large where they have vendors, they're the boss to those vendors. And you say, hey, you know any vendors that you have that could use our service? And if you start thinking about that one point alone, you have enough business to last you the rest of your career.
Oh yeah, I have one of those right now that's going to grow our business very, very quickly. Because, like, he just found out what I did, and that was all it took. He wasn't even a client. I was just talking to him. And even to this morning, before coming here, I was running late because I was on the phone with someone giving me a lead. I was like, okay, thanks. Yeah. I know you. Okay, bye.
Right, exactly.
But, I mean, that one company will actually help exponentially grow, $20,000, $30,000 a month.
You bet, because the people they know, and again, the vendors they know, because remember, they're the boss there. So if they recommend, they're not just doing it to be nice. They want to make sure they keep your business. So it's an excellent way of doing it. Now, back to this guy, okay, this VP that I was talking with and asking to be my referral partner. He went like this, and I said, hey, it will build your relationship, though, within the industry, etc. He said, yeah. And and he said, I know the guy, and here's his name, telephone number. I said, don't want the name or telephone number. You just asked me, and I said, no. What I'd like from you is a personal introduction. Would you be kind enough, what's the guy's first name? And he says it's Rich. He's president of Dime Bank. Dime Bank's huge in New York, and they have a mortgage company, etc. And he said his name's Rich, president and CEO of the bank. And I said, that is just, wonderful. When would you be able to contact him and tell him about me? And he goes, I got to call him? And I said, you're going to get this. And so I want you to call him and provide me a personal introduction. Well, what should I say? So I gave him my elevator speech. And my elevator speech, you want to make it personalized, not, gee, I sell good furniture, okay? That you want to personalize it a little. So here's my elevator speech. Is that my passion is to help people become their greatest possibility. And I go into companies, work with teams. It could be management teams. And see, the reason why I'm telling him about this elevator speech is so he understands who I'm targeting. So he can start, he or she, you know, in this case it's he, start thinking about, gee, do I know any management team? Do I know any sales team? Do I know any customer service team? So I share with it. So in my 30-second, and so I work with these teams, and I guarantee specific measurable business results for that organization, and you will have the money in your bank and see a return of investment of at least 400%. He said, okay, you know, that's true, you did it for us, so you got over 1,000% with us, so I'll agree and you know, I'll call. Then I hold accountability, and again, I'm going to go through this whole process again with you in a second, but I hold them accountable, and I ask them. So I asked him, when would you be able to contact Rich? And then when can I call you to see how the outcome of the meeting was? And he goes, you call me next Friday at 1600 hours. So I'm going twice. Okay, we'll call you at 4. So that Friday, I call him at 4 o'clock, and he answers, this is Jack. Hey Jack, how are you? Okay. And it's, hey, were you able to talk with Rich? Yep, I talked to him. Well, great. What did Rich say? Rich said, you can call him. Wonderful. Thank you so much, Jack. And do you have his number? Yep, here's his number. Thanks, Jack. You bet. Bye. You know. So I pick up the phone. Call Rich's number. And who do I get? The gatekeeper. And a wonderful gatekeeper. And in this case, she answers. And says hello, you know, in Rich Merrill's office. And I said, hi, I'd like to talk to Rich. So does everybody else in this place. I thought, God, she must be related to Jack. And I said, no, really, I need to talk with Rich. And because everybody wants to talk to Rich, okay? And that Rich isn't available. I said, no, he's expecting my phone call. My name's Dr. Hank Seitz. And he is expecting my phone call. She goes, listen, you know, I don't care what kind of doctor you are. He's fine. He's feeling healthy. You know. I said, well, I'm a head doctor, and so maybe I can do something with his head, or at least yours, miss. No. And so she gave me a hard time, and I said, please, really, you're not going to get in trouble. Just talk to Rich right now, because I knew he was in the office. Jack had told me. And so so she goes, just wait. So I wait. About 2 minutes. She probably put down the phone, you know, figured she'd just hang me out to dry for a while. And all of a sudden she gets on the phone. Hello, Dr. Seitz. I'll put you right into Rich. Thank you very much. Rich answers the phone. CEO of a billion-dollar business. Hey, Hank, how are you? Hey, Jack told me all about you. I don't even have time to say hi. Yep, you know, I got this one area in Milwaukee and this other one in Chicago. Where do you want to start? I mean, no sales presentation, no hi, no nothing. This guy already trusted me. Why? He trusted my referral partner. And that built that relationship to where that Jack guy actually did lose his job, which, you know, a lot of people were smiling, and it's self-evident why, but the employees were really happy. But he was a tough guy. But he ended up getting hired by Rich and making more money. And that was 3 years later, okay? So, I mean, this builds a relationship. This really is a responsibility of ours in order to ask for referrals. You have a service and a product, and if you believe you are the best, and I believe you do, that you need to share the good news. And the good news to share in the most effective way is through referral partners. So, elevator speech. I'd like you right now to look at, oh, you want to know how much Jack got? I forgot to tell you how much Jack made on all this. Jack would have told you right away how much he made. That the first deal was about $230,000. So how much did Jack get for that one phone call? $23,000. Jack ended up getting over $100,000 for making one phone call. Put in a whole new yard thing for his horses and stuff. And I don't know.